And now let's welcome to the microphone, Lauren Ashwell. I gotta be able to see how tall you are.
Not very.
Let's do that.
So normally when I'm in front of a microphone, I've got the words in front of me. I sing a lot of karaoke very, very, very badly. So I'm a little bit nervous about not having my story right there in front of me, but bear with me. I said I wasn't going to do storytelling ever until, I signed up half an hour ago. It's like I was never going to run marathons until the day I signed up for my first one. But this story is not about karaoke, sadly. I'm not allowed to sing, so very badly, remember that. So this story is when I realized I had to change something about myself. And it wasn't the fact that I have this tendency to talk with my mouth full when I'm really excited about something. Sorry, friends, for that. It's not the fact that I watch particularly trashy detective shows to procrastinate about doing my work, although those are all things that I should change. It is not the fact that I am absolutely terrified about talking on the phone. That will play a part in the story. But I'm going to keep you in suspense about what I want to change. But when I realized that I needed to change something about myself, it was when I got involved in the Equality Maine campaign. I'm not particularly political. I voted. I vote in New Zealand. I have no idea who my city councillor was at the time. Mostly I voted for parties strategically to keep other parties out, and I wasn't really particularly all that into politics at all. But somehow I managed to get myself involved in the Equality Maine campaign. I volunteered the first time around to be on a phone bank, terrified of phones. So I never, I'm sick, I'm sorry, I really, really, really want to help out, but sorry. But this time around, the second time around, they managed to actually convince me. I have no idea how they managed to guilt trip me into actually going and talking to strangers on the phone. But I managed about 10 phone calls before I panicked and had to hide in the bathroom. But raise some money, raise some awareness. Then they come up to me and they say, well, we'd like you to do some door-to-door. You're pretty smiley and cheerful. I'm like, no, I'm terrified inside. Would you go knocking door to door just to get the vote out? That would be really helpful around Portland. And I'm also terrified of talking to strangers and knocking on doors and not knowing what's behind them. So I went out one evening the night before the vote and knocked on doors, and mostly it was actually pretty good. They had me around the west end of Portland, and it's mostly not too terrifying around there. There was a woman who talked to me about sewing machines for 10 minutes. That was actually kind of fun. Mostly people were just, yes, we're going to vote, or no, I've already done the early voting. There was the one guy who, when I said, oh, you're going to come and get the vote, come out. I mean, I actually did it a little bit more eloquently than that. Are you going to go out to vote tomorrow? We would really like you to come out. Whichever way you're voting, we just want to make sure that people know that they can go, they can do day registration on the day, and we just want to get the vote out. He looked at me straight in the eye, and he said, bang, bang, kill the Queen, which thankfully I think he's not actually smart enough for that to be a homophobic slur, but so I then went and hid and didn't actually knock on any more doors that night. But then did it the next day in a much nicer part of the West End, where nobody really hated the British quite so much. I'm not actually British, I'm from New Zealand, but I sound very British. I can't believe I was so excited about the question actually passing. I believe very strongly in support of marriage equality. I talk about it in my philosophy classes, and as a philosopher I'm really interested in reasons for things, and I can't see any reasons for it not to pass. But I was so excited about this passing and so happy about being involved in this political process, even though I don't think of myself as being political, that I realised that the thing I have to change is my citizenship status. I can't vote in New Zealand. There's residency requirements. And I can't vote here despite paying taxes, no taxation without representation. But I really now need to become a citizen so I can vote, so I can change things. And there might be a Sam the Eagle costume involved in my citizenship change in 2 years' time. Thank you.